Hope my screen is visible, right? My screen is visible, right?
Yes.
All right. So let me start with introducing myself. So my name is Atul, and I work as a senior solution architect at NTT DATA. I've got over 10 plus years of experience in integration, integrating using TIPCO, IBM suite of products, and now working on MuleSoft. So that's about me. And today I'm going to present my understanding on traditional AI using custom vision and MuleSoft. So I mean the reason for me choosing this topic, right? So I started with my AI learning journey a few months back. So I went through lots of documentation and I did a couple of certification as well. And when I had a fair idea of AI, right, and I wanted to, and I know about its capabilities, so I had few use cases in my mind, and I wanted to implement it quickly. So I mean, without installing any software or any learning any new language. So I just wanted to implement my idea that I was having. So that is where on searching, I found Azure Custom Vision, and that I found is very easy tool to create your model and train your model. Though there are other products also available in the market. So I mean, you can do your research and whichever suits your needs and requirement, you can use that. So that is what I went through custom vision and I found it very helpful. So anyone who is embarking on a similar journey, right, where they have some use cases in mind and they want to implement that, I mean, probably they can take a look at custom vision. Okay, so that was the idea of sharing, taking up this topic. So yeah, as Shyam mentioned, we'll cover this all topics. Thanks to the organizing team, especially Shyam and Amit, for giving me this opportunity to share my topic. I already gave my introduction. So coming to this, right, what is AI, right? So AI is the stands for artificial intelligence, right? So everyone knows about it. So it's the buzzword, right? It's going on for last maybe 3 4 years, but only after chat gpt and lately with deepseek, right, we are seeing that more and more adoption of AI is happening, right? It's gaining momentum, right? And any organization or individual who wants to stay relevant, right, they need to start learning, upskill themselves and start learning AI, right? So, I mean, that is what AI is. So, at a high level, right, AI is nothing but it is the ability of computer systems or machines to think like humans do, right? So, like the inference or the intuition or the reasoning, or you can say acting like humans or reacting like humans. That is what AI can do for you. So how the machine does that? It's about training the model what you create. So that is where you are seeing a lot of LLMs that are getting released, right? So those are all pre-trained models, but also you can create your own models on top of that. So you can customize those models. So I will give you a very simple example, right? So like how we started our learning, right, as a kid, right? Our parents and our teachers, they used to show us the say we pick up wild animals, right? So they used to show us the images, right, in books or flashcards. They used to show us the images, and in our brain, in our mind, right, we used to make that pattern. Okay, this is how tiger looks like, or cat looks like, or a dog looks like, right? So anyone who presents a new image to you, you understand, you from your mind, that this is how this is a cat, right? This is how it looks like. Similarly, right, we are now training the machine. So machine is learning by itself, right? Whatever program that is running behind the scenes, the machine, whenever we are feeding the data to it, right, it is able to understand that pattern and give us the result that we are desiring, right? So that is AI all about. Okay, moving on. So traditional AI versus generative AI, right? So traditional AI or predictive AI or conventional AI, right? This is where you are giving the data set, and when you are presenting, say, it a new image, right? So it analyzes that data. Okay, it analyzes that pattern what it has already, with the data set that has been uploaded to it. It's able to analyze that pattern and provide the predictions based on what it sees. So as example I mentioned, right, cats and dogs. So suppose we are training the model with lots and lots of images of cats and dogs, right? Different colors, different sizes, different varieties, right? So the breeds of cats and dogs. So I mean, depending upon that, the model itself, creates that pattern, and whenever we present a new image to it, they are able to predict based on whatever the model, I mean, it has been trained against, right? So that is what traditional AI is. Generative AI is, it's uses the same data set, but it is used to generate something entirely new, like a new image, poem, story, right? So you give it a prompt, and it creates a new image for you or a story for you, right? So that is where, Chat GPT, DeepSeek, these are all the LLMs that have been released. So we are using that, right? Gemini AI, some of the examples of that. So even we are now, interacting with Alexa. Alexa has been there, and even Siri, right? So we are giving it a prompt, and it's doing the job for us, whatever we are asking it. So it's like, you are interacting with humans, right? It's not, it doesn't feel like, you're interacting with a machine. So same way with the chat bots, right? Chat bots, mainly, I mean, might have seen in the e-commerce website, right, where we are having some issue. So I mean, we try to connect with the agent, and it present a chat screen. So we are interacting with initially with the machine, right? We are interacting with the chatbots. They are machines, and based on whatever the inputs, whatever prompts we are giving, they are able to reply back. Only in case where, we need further assistance, that is where we connect to the actual customer representative, right? Okay, moving on. So today is about Azure Custom Vision. So this is a product offering. So it's a image recognition service. So it helps us in creating use cases related to image classification and object detection. So we upload the images and create the model. So this is a life cycle which I have created over here. So when we create a project in Azure Custom Vision, it creates a data set for us. Then we add images to it. User-friendly UI. You just need to upload the images. You need to label the images. I mean, you tag the images, say cat images or dog. So that way you are tagging it. Then you are training the model. So there is a button where you on it. I will shortly show that to you. So you train the model, and then you provide a new image and see how it is predicting, the model is predicting. So if it is satisfying your whatever the result outcomes you are expecting out of it, then you can publish the model. Otherwise you can further add images. Obviously we are talking about lots and lots of images, so somewhere you know I mean, with limited amount of images, might be that it's not able to give us the result properly. So that is where we are talking about lots and lots of images that you can add. I will shortly show that to you. So once you publish that model, it gives us a prediction URL, right? So that is what we can use in our integration with MuleSoft. We can call that URL, and it will give us the result, right? On what is the probability of this particular image being a cat or a dog, something like that. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, I'll move ahead. So use case, so customer specific ad display. So I mean, most of you might have ad display screen, right? I mean, in my society, there in the lift area, right, there is an ad display screen. Or even if someone has traveled outside, maybe outside India, you might have seen in the bus stops, right, there are screens which displays the image. So it just displays the image and video of some of the offers that are coming. So I found that that the images that shows up on the screen, right, it's most of the times are irrelevant, right? Sometimes it shows me image of offers for jewelry shop or shari shop, so something like that, which does not interest me. Might be it's interest for ladies, right? So that is where I thought that maybe how can we I mean, how this display screens can be intelligent enough, right? So based on whoever is looking at the screen, or it's able to display depending upon who is looking, I mean, depending upon its gender, whether it's a man or a woman or boy or girl, it's able to identify that and able to show relevant images or the videos or the offers that are maybe an old man will be more interested into, say, ads of or offers of, say, health checkup, and maybe someone who is young, he might be more interested into gadgets, right? So mobile, or PlayStation or something like that. And women, they might be interested into some sales and offers like jewelry, purses, and things like that. So that is all. I thought that maybe it's a use case that I can take up and show it using custom vision. So this is the use case that I thought about, and I will be presenting it today. So this is a simple diagram, right? So I'm not having the display screen. I will try to mimic that. So what I am envisioning is that the display screen will have a camera. So what it will do is it will capture the image of the customer, and it will send that image to the MuleSoft application. So MuleSoft, on receiving the image, it will call our custom vision prediction URL, which I explained earlier. I'll show that also. So it will call the custom vision prediction URL, and will give us the probability of, depending upon the customer, whether it's a man or a woman, and it will return the prediction result to the MuleSoft, and depending upon that, we can, direct to the screen to display the relevant ads and images for that age group or for that gender, right? So that is the thought process behind this. Okay. So before moving into the demo, any questions before I jump in? Okay, let me move to demo now. So let me stop this. All right. So this is the Azure AI service. I already logged into portal.azure.com. So as you can see, there are a lot of Azure AI service offering. So you can see from the left hand side. So Azure AI service. This is more of a generative AI where you can configure the chatbots you can create, or image. You can create a new image, something like that. Those can be configured over here. Custom vision is what a face API is mainly for the face identification. This is something you will need some permission from Azure. So you will have to drop some email or something. So I don't think we get that with a free trial, but there are also face API. So today we are going to talk about this custom vision. So as I mentioned, that this is an image recognition service where you can implement use cases like image classification and object detection. Okay. So what I will do is I will create one custom vision, and what I've done is, for my use cases, right? So I've created around 55 images of, say, a boy, a girl, right, and man. So I've created different images. I mean, I've downloaded those and kept it ready. So what I will do is, when I'm creating this model, right, so I'm going to upload this images and tag that images based on the um, the gender classification what you are seeing. So let me create that. So I'll select both, free trial. Let me select AI. Region is East US. Let me say MuleSoft demo. Pricing entire free. Okay. So with the free trial, right, you will get this option. So you just have to select those. Okay. And then it's about creating this. So all networks, including the internet, can access this resource. I will select that option. I will leave this blank. So it's creating that custom vision project for us. Okay. And you just click on this create. So it will create that project for you. So behind the scene, it's deploying on a server, on a cloud server. So whenever you are going to upload those images, it will be getting deployed onto this server. Okay. So the deployment is in progress. Shortly you'll be able to, it won't take much time. In the meantime, on the MuleSoft side, right? So what I have done is I've created one. uh, basic HTTP page where we'll be providing the image URL. So this is kind of mimicking that ad display screen. So what I'm saying is that ad display screen will capture that image, and it will, in the form of URL, it is going to send that image to the MuleSoft application. So I'm trying to mimic it through this form, okay, HTML form. And then on the screen, right, so this is the on the listener, right, when I'm calling this endpoint, it's going to pass that template at the backend, which is nothing but this HTML form. And when you submit that button, right, so whatever the URL which we are going to enter, right, that is going to make that call to this prediction URL, custom vision prediction URL. And so what I'm doing is I'm just basically uh, creating one ads URL and an ads video URL. So based on the prediction, whether the for prediction, the high probability of that prediction is a man or a woman, I have hard coded few of the videos and the ads. Okay, so that is how I've done it. And yeah, on submission, it is going to display. It's going to use this another HTML form, and it's going to show the result of the prediction from the custom vision. So it's going to show the result, and it's going to display one static image and one static video. I mean, one video over there. So that is what the MuleSoft code has been written behind this. Okay. So let me go to, so yeah, deployment is complete. Let me go to the resource group. So it will give you another security key. So when you look at the settings, right, let me see, customization, deployment is complete. So MS demo, right, MS demo prediction. So this will give you an API key, right, which we can use. So I will just copy that. Say here, I'll copy that. So this is the key for calling that prediction URL. And then let me go back. Anyways, it will show up the when we are going to call it, it's going to show up on the custom vision. So from here, I'm going to open that custom vision portal. So I will click on this. So here I will create a new project. So I will call, say, MS demo. And then here I'm going to select the same trial, right? So I created one MS demo project. So I'm going to select the same one, MS demo. This is a project type classification. As I mentioned, right, there are two project type that custom vision support. One is classification and other is object detection. So right now we are looking into the image classification part. So that's why we are selecting it. Here you can, if you want to tag multiple tags per image or single tag per image. So, I mean, as I mentioned, right, you can also create it based on the age group. So if the man is of, say, older than 60 years, right? So maybe he's more interested into ads of health checkup or something like that. Or if it is a young man, like around 20, 25, 30 years, right? So he must be interested into more of gadgets. So depending upon that, so right now I'm going to just, create images like man, woman. So I will just select single tag per image and I will just create those projects. Okay. Right. So I created that project. Now I'm going to add the images. So what I showed earlier, right? So second. So let me select this boy, right? So I will select all of the images. I will open that. So 55 files, right? So I will upload, I will tag also, like I will say something like boy. I'll create that tag. So in along with images, it will also tag those images. It will take some time as around 55 files are there. So all 55 images have been uploaded. And you can see, right, when I'm selecting this tags, right, so it will show the images of one. Now I'm going to add similarly for the rest of the other groups. So girls, I will add all of this. I will add a tag to it. Then let me add for man now. Select all of that. I'll say man elephants. Yeah. And finally, I will upload all images for women. I'll tag it as woman. So everything is done. So as you can see, I've taken 55 images of all the data set. So I mean, it's equal enough. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to train this, right? So I've created a data set now. So I'm not going to train this. So I click on this button and I will do a quick training. What it will do is it will create an iteration of that. Okay. And, once this iteration is there, you can test it out. So it's kind of creating a email training URL for it, and when we test it out, it will be tested against this training model. Okay. So whenever you are adding images to it, right? So, and whenever you are going to train that, it will create a new version of that. So iteration one, then iteration two, and so on. Okay. So depending upon how much feedback, I mean, how many data set it will create, I mean, you will add, it will create iteration for that. So whenever you are going to click on this train, it will be creating a new iteration for that. Okay. Once this iteration is done, you will be also seeing this quick test option that will be enabled, and then you can test it out. And if it looks fine, then you can publish the model. So once you publish the model, you will get the prediction URL, which you can use in your integration.
Hey, hi, Atul.
Yeah.
Atul, just wanted to ask, did you label every single image as girl, boy, or was it at folder level?
So it's at the folder level.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, I uploaded all the images, right? So I mean, in case you are going to add, I mean, individual images, then you will have to tag it, right? So right now, when I uploaded the images, along with that, I gave the tag, right? So all the images were associated with that tag. So I don't
Oh,
have to click every image and then tag it individually. But yeah, going forward, when you are going to upload new images, so you might try, I mean, you might try to club it all at once, and then you can tag it, right? So, I mean, you don't need to tag it individually.
oh, thank you.
Okay.
Hello, Atul. Quick question, please.
Yeah.
So, if I correctly understand, once this iteration is created, if we click
Mhm.
again on train, it will create another iteration, like iteration two. Is that correct?
Yes, so I mean, you need to add new images, new training images, and then you need to train the model. So, what you are going to train against, right? So, already all the training images have been, I mean, the model has been trained against all these training images, right? So, I mean, if you're going to train it again, I mean, it's not going to, make any difference with it, right? It's already
Oh,
all the images have been trained that way. So, only when you add new images, it makes sense to train the model, right?
okay. Thank you.
So now you see, right, this, I mean, this has been trained, and there is a quick test option available, right? So let me click on this. So what I'm going to do is I've created a couple of image URLs. I will try that out and see what is the um, prediction that it shows, right? So it says that the probability of this being a man is a 99.7%. So it's now giving you the result, right? So I'm happy with it. Now what I'm going to do is I will publish this model. Okay. So, and even, I mean, whatever the prediction that it does, right, it starts showing up here. Okay. So now I'm going to publish this model. That is where it will give this prediction URL. Okay. So I will just click on this publish model. I will select that prediction resource and will publish it. Okay. So now you see, right, it is now coming as unpublished, so it's published, and you will get a prediction URL and the way to call this image, I mean the prediction URL. So since I'm going to use this image URL, so I'm just copying this image URL. And, I've already copied the key earlier, so I'm going to use this in my MuleSoft application. So I will use this value as the host. So I'll just replace that quickly in my application. So if I go to image URL, so I'll replace the host value here. This part I will replace. So this is where the path, right? The path I was initially changed. So you will see this path as well. So iteration one URL, and I will save it. Oh, I forgot to change the key. So headers, right? So you need to go to the headers, and this prediction key is what you need to change. We are all set. It has deployed, and let me open the URL. Right. So if I my application, MuleSoft application URL, it will ask me to give a image URL. So let me give for a woman. Right. So now you will see based on the result as well as the
सॉस
images
चालू कर
and
अपने का.
so this is what it does, right? So woman, if you see, it's giving us a probability of 99.6.996 that this is a woman. And depending upon that, I am showing the relevant ads and videos for women. Okay. So this is what I mean, and even this particular thing will start reflecting also under the prediction. So like you were seeing the earlier the man image, right? Similarly, you will also see the woman image also appearing over here. So the same probability that you see over there will start reflecting here, right? So you can tag this image and add it to your prediction also. I mean to your image, or if you want to do any correction, you can do the correction and save it in case the result doesn't match your criteria. So this is what it does. So depending upon the whether the person, the customer who is looking, based on his gender, it's able to show the relevant ads and the videos for that one. So if I try say image of a boy, I'll show that image also. Let me open that image also for sake of that. So this is the boy image that I'm uploading. And let me replace that image URL. And when I click on submit, so if you see, right, it's predicting 99.95% probability that this customer is a boy. And the image and the display has changed, right? It's for a boy, right? And if you now go to the one last one, like related to girl, let me open this image. So if I, so this is a girl image, and let me post that, submit. So it says 97.65 percentage that this customer is a girl, and it changes the ads, the image and the video relevant to the girl. So this is all I wanted to show. And even if you see now, refresh this page, you will be able to show. I mean, it will show the predictions also here for the boy and the girl that I just added, right? Just showed. So this will be the same prediction. I'm showing it on in a tabular format uh, on my page. Okay. So even there was one more. I mean, using generative AI, I create one generate image URL. So I mean, let me show that to you also. I have to clear my console. I will be capturing the image URL. So I mean, this is similar to generative AI. So I will ask it to generate an image for a small boy playing in the zone, something like this. Let me see. So this is another, I mean, this is not related to custom vision. This is a Azure AI service which I have used for, just demo purpose. So this is the image that it created. Now, if I'm going to use this URL, right? So I'm using the DALI model. So that is what I'm using. So that's why if you see the URL that it has written, right, it's a DALI, starting with DALI. So if I'm going to provide this URL to uh, my model, let's see what it shows. So I mean, it's showing a wrong probability, so maybe we'll have to train the model more. So it's saying that it's a girl with a percentage of 88.3 and boy of 11.5. So probably train the model more. So I will try to change that. So here if I come and can open, I can tag this as a boy, right? So boy and save and close. So that way it will be, I mean, once I click on train, it will train the model using that. Okay. Similarly, I can tag this as girl, this as woman, this as man, this as a boy. Right. So once you click on train, it will again deploy a new iteration of that. Okay. So you see iteration two. So same way you will test it out. It will give you a new iteration URL, and that is what you can use in your model. Okay. So yeah, that is what I wanted to demonstrate today. Um, any questions? Hope you learned something new, and I mean it was some value add to you. I mean
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah, Atul, first of all, thank you very much. It's a very, very insightful presentation. Great job from your side.
Mhm.
And one question from me is the last thing you just did when you added the tags, like the boy, the girl, the woman. Is it like
Mm.
adding these pictures to like the tags are working like containers, right? When you add new tags, each new, okay. So when you create the iteration just
Mm.
goes and see the new pictures or the new elements that were
Right.
added and trains the model on that. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So, so it's the iteration, right? So it's already trained on the previous images. So it's just trying to iterate with the new images that we have added. So it will train the model, and it will give a new prediction URL which you can use it in your model. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, how do you do, Atul? First of all, thank you for this magnificent presentation. As far as I can see, so you are located in India. So your use case is based on the video screens in India. And question is whether you use Azure region located in India, is it possible? And the second, how it works regarding GPDPDA Act of 2023, because, well, you do not collect personal data of your bus stop users, but it is still in some way an issue for me as far as I can see, or maybe not. I'm very curious about this because basically it's a very interesting use case.
Uh, Atul will be joining in a minute. So Yeah, let's wait for him. Do we have any other question? Maybe you can add your question into the chat, and then he will come back. Then he will answer.
No, it's just to say that Shyam, from technical point of view, is crystal clear. There is not any question that I can imagine, basically.
Okay, fine.
Maybe there is an opportunity to figure out a specific training data for a specific region, because maybe it's
Maybe
different
there
based
will
on
be,
the location.
yeah. So when we're creating the, maybe we have to select the region and then we have to train that. So initial setup, like we have to select the region. Maybe Atul can confirm on that. He'll be joining in a minute. Let's wait for him. Uh, if anyone wanted to be a speaker or anything, they can reach out to us for any topic.